Hello world, welcome back to the channel. So if you are setting up a fresh Ubuntu and want to turn it into a powerful workstation, then you're in the right place. Today I'll walk you through installing everything you need, from coding tools like VSCode to GPU acceleration with Nvidia CUDA toolkit. Here we'll cover all the essentials, setting up Conda for environments and Docker for containers and SSH for better terminal experiences, and even how to get your GPU running smoothly for deep learning tasks. So whether you are a beginner or a seasonal pro, this guide will help you save some time and help you to avoid common mistakes. So let's get your Ubuntu up and running as the ML powerhouse. So let's get started. Alright, before you dive into the fun stuff, it's always a good idea to start with a clean state. Let's make sure our system is fully updated. A quick update and upgrade will ensure we are working with the latest and the greatest. So let's go to the terminal. It's working fine now. Yeah, everything's alright. Now, first up is Visual Studio Code, the Swiss Army knife of code editors. Whether you are writing Python, managing Git, or tweaking configs, VS Code has got you covered. I'll walk you through the installation and share my must-have extension to boost your productivity. So let's download VS Code. Now we'll be using the Snap Store. So let's click on the install. Yeah. Here the installation is a lengthy process. It depends on your internet speed. Here you can see that the VS Code is installed. So if I open VS Code, so everything's fine. Now it's time to install the extensions. So first of all, we need to install Python, Jupyter, C++, Live Server, Prettier, Code Runner, so Python is installed. Let's take your terminal from 0 to hero with Zsh and Powerlevel10k. Not only does it look fantastic, but it also loaded with features that streamline with your workflow. I'll show you how to install it and walk through some initial customization, from instant directory jumps to Git status indicators right in your prompt. Powerlevel10k turns your terminal into a superpower. So let's install that. So now let's install ZSH. As you can see that the ZSH is installed. Now let's check the ZSH version. Everything's okay. Now I need to make it cooler with a specific theme. So I will be using Powerlevel10k. Besides, we need to install the Git. Version control is a must and Git is the king of the hill. I'm going to guide you through setting up Git with GitHub's SSH so you can push and pull code like a pro without getting tangled in passwords every time. It's super easy, and trust me, once you set up SSH keys, you will wonder how you ever lived without them. So let's install it. Now let's set up SSH keys for GitHub for seamless working. So let's open terminal. Now you need to write this command. So you can see that this lists the file in your SSH directory if they exist, and here I can see I have 8 SSH files. So now let's generate SSH keys. So for that you need to type this command. Now I have to put my email address. So let's click enter. Now it's showing enter file in which to save the key. Now I need to press just enter. Now it's time to install the passphrase. With SSH keys, if someone gains access to your computer, the attacker can gain access to every system that uses that key. To add an extra layer of security, you can add a passphrase to your SSH keys. So to avoid entering the passphrase every time you connect, you can securely save your passphrase in the SSH agent. So I'll write a passphrase here. And again. So the SSH key is created. So now let's add my SSH key to the SSH agent. So this is my PID agent. Now let's add my SSH private key to the SSH agent. So for that I need to write this command. So the passphrase is identity added to this path with my email address. So now I have to go to the GitHub. Let's sign in. Now let's go to the settings. Here I have to go to this SSH and GPG keys. These are my previous SSH keys. So I have to delete this one because I have installed Ubuntu from scratch. Yes. Now create a new SSH keys. Title is the same as before and the key is this one. So now I have to get my public key. So for that I need to run this command. Here you can see my SSH public key. So now let's copy this public key and paste it here and add SSH key. Yeah, it's created. Now let's add some final things. Now it's time to check the SSH connection with my GitHub from my terminal. So let's run this command. Now press yes. Yeah, you can see my GitHub username and it shows that I have successfully authenticated. So it's perfect. Now let's open ZSH. Now you have to click to, yeah, everything's perfect now. Now install OMyZSH. We forget to install the curl, so let's install it. So now let's run the program. Here you can see that it's showing, do you want to change your default shell to ZSH? Of course. Yeah, everything is good. So let's clone the repository. So now let's go to the ZSHRC file. Now change it to now save it using Ctrl S and get out of it from Ctrl X. So let's use the command source. Yeah, everything's fine. Now it's showing some configuration window. So does this look like a diamond? No. So let's click N. Does this look like a clock? No. No. Yes. Here I'll be using the third one, so 3. Unicode, so 1. Show the current time in 12-hour format. 1 1 1 2 1 2 4 2 1 no 1 yes. Everything is working fine. So if I get out of the terminal and open it again, now to make the ZSH as the default shell, I need to use the following command. Now I have to do restart and do it again. So now after successfully restarting the device, if I go to the terminal, here you can see that the good looking ZSH with the Powerlevel10k interface. So everything's fine. Next, let's talk about Conda. It's not just a package manager, it's your best friend for managing environment, especially when juggling different ML projects. We'll set up Conda so you can easily create and switch between your environments without breaking a sweat. Imagine working on multiple projects with conflicting dependencies. Conda makes it possible to keep everything tidy and organized. So now let's install the mini Conda. Here I'll be using mini Conda because it's a concise package. Or else if I use Anaconda, then it's too much big and it contains many unnecessary files. So let's run the command and download mini Conda sh file. It's a time consuming process, so let's wait a bit. Now let's run the command bash. So it's showing welcome to mini Conda. So now let's enter. So let's press yes. And enter. I want this to be yes. So everything is fine. Now if you open the terminal again, here you can see this. The Conda is activated with the base directory. So if I write Conda, here you can see that the base environment is already there. Or if I type Conda init, it's already initialized, so it's showing this thing. Now if you're working with deep learning, GPU acceleration is a game changer. We'll set up Nvidia's CUDA toolkit and cuDNN so your models can train faster and more efficiently. I'll guide you through the installation and share a few tips to troubleshoot common issues. A quick heads up, CUDA installation can be tricky, but don't worry, I have got your back. Now it's the most complicated part. It's Nvidia setup on your Ubuntu. Since I have installed Nvidia drivers, it's by default in Ubuntu 24.04. So if I write Nvidia, then you can see I have installed the driver, which is 535, and its default installation. Ubuntu did it for me, and the CUDA version is 12.2. So let's install the CUDA toolkit and cuDNN. So let's install. It's Linux, x86, Ubuntu 24.04, deb. Yeah, it's perfect. So now let's download these versions. Now this command, and let's download the CUDA file. It will take ages, so see you in a bit. Here you can see that the installation has done. So now let's complete the following stuffs. So now let's do this thing. So it's done. So now it's time to install the cuDNN file. So now let's download the cuDNN. Download. Linux, Ubuntu 24.04, deb local. So let's do this. Download the deb file. It's taking too much time, so see you in a bit. So now it's installed, so let's run the following command. Okay, now let's run this one. Here it says that for CUDA 11 we have to run this command, and for 12 we need to run this command. Since I'm using the CUDA 12, so I will run this command. So it's installed perfectly. Now check this thing. If I go to the system monitor, then this page, so let's go to the user file, local. Yeah, you can see that the CUDA 12 is successfully installed, and now we have to add this command in the zsh rc file. At the end of this file, let's save it here. Now save it and get out of it. So if I open a terminal again, voila, you can see that I have successfully installed CUDA 12.6 with cuDNN. When it comes to ML frameworks, PyTorch is my go-to. It's intuitive, flexible, and well suited for both research and production. We'll get it installed, and I'll share why I prefer it over other frameworks for most of my projects. Now it's time to install the PyTorch. So let's install PyTorch. So you can download it from here. I'll be using Conda, CUDA 12.4. So let's open a terminal. So let's create a new environment for this. I'll name this environment as ML with Python version 3.12 and with I'll install pip2. Click yes. Yeah, it's created successfully. So let's activate the ML environment. Yeah, ML is activated. Now run this command. And enter yes. So you can see this, the download has been completed. So to check whether Torch is enabled with GPU, let's go to the Python shell. So import torch. So import torch. Yeah, it's working fine. Now let's check whether GPU is available or not. So let's type this. Yeah, true. So you can see that CUDA can be accessed by Torch. If I want to get the GPU name, then run this. Yeah, it's RTX 4070. So that's it. This is how you can install Torch with CUDA perfectly. Postman. APIs are everywhere in ML, and Postman is a fantastic tool for testing them. So now let's install Postman. For that you need to use Snap. You can install by tar file also. So this is the stable version. So now you can see this, the Postman is installed. So now it's time to install the PostgreSQL and pgadmin. PostgreSQL and pgadmin. Data is the heart of a ML, and a reliable database is crucial. We'll set up PostgreSQL along with pgadmin to manage your data effortlessly. So now let's go to this and install PostgreSQL and run. Yes. So here you can see that Postgres has been installed. So if I want to test it, yeah, you can see this, the 16.4 version has been installed. Now it's time to install the pgadmin. It's Ubuntu, so apt4 Ubuntu 24.0, so it will support that. So let's run the following commands. It will take some time to install that. The downloading has been completed. Now it's installing the pgadmin, so it's installed perfectly. And if I search pgadmin, here you can see this. I have successfully installed pgadmin 4. Docker is a powerful tool that lets you run applications in an isolated containers, and it's incredibly useful for ML workflows. Whether you are testing code, managing dependencies, or deploying models, Docker has got you covered. So let's get it set up on our system. So first of all, let's go to the terminal. Now write this command. Now I have to install the key rings by this command. Now using curl, I have to get this thing and use chmod to complete this. So now let's add the repository to the apt sources. You can do this by this command and enter. Yes. And finally do this. Now let's install the latest version of Docker. So let's run this command. It contains multiple packages, and now enter. It will download 121 MBs of archives and enter yes. So now let's verify that the Docker engine is really installed. We can check it by this command. it's a test image, so let's run it. It says that it can't find it locally, so it's pulling it from the internet, and it shows hello, so it means the installation is successful. This is it. And that's it. Now your Ubuntu is set up with a powerful machine learning environment and ready for your next projects. We have set up coding tools like GPU acceleration with Nvidia CUDA and Postman, Docker, VSCode, PostgreSQL, everything you need. Remember, this is just the start. For specific tasks like working with large language models, you may need Ollama, or for other large machine learning projects, you might add frameworks like TensorFlow and Keras. With the basics covered, you can customize your setup with whatever package or tools you need to match your exact workflow. If you enjoyed this guide, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for later videos on machine learning and coding tips. Got questions or want to see some specific things? Then just drop a comment below and share this video among your developer friends who are looking to set up their Ubuntu for machine learning. Thanks for watching, keep coding, and I'll catch you in the next video.